Rebel Moon, sebuah karya science fiction buatan Zack Snyder, menghadirkan sebuah universe baru dengan lore yang dalam dan dunia yang luas untuk dieksplorasi. Mengambil banyak inspirasi dari berbagai film, Zack menyusun lore dari film ini sangat matang, membawa saingan baru untuk film-film perang bintang seperti Star Wars dan Star Trek. Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire, jadi film pertama yang tergolong sukses besar. Filmnya sendiri meraup lebih dari 70 juta viewership di Netflix, dan filmnya sendiri memang dibuat untuk 2 film sekaligus berturut-turut. Cuma beberapa bulan aja, bagian kedua dari film Rebel Moon langsung bisa ditonton di Netflix, Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver. Film keduanya sendiri ngasih lebih banyak action, lebih banyak scene epic dengan perang besar antara para rebels melawan pasukan Mother World bersama Atticus Noble yang dihidupkan kembali seperti di akhir film pertama. Nah, gua berkesempatan buat ngobrol bareng para cast dan director dari film Rebel Moon ini. Ada Zack Snyder, Sofia Boutella, Michiel Huisman, Staz Nair, Elise Duffy, dan Djimon Hounsou.
Hi Zack, I'm Ryan from Breakdown Channel Universe Indonesia. How you doing?
Doing great, how you doing?
I'm good. Hi guys, how are you doing?
Hey Ryan.
Hello. Hi Sofia, hi Michelle.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, how are you guys?
Good, thank you.
First of all, congratulations for Rebel Moon Part 2. This part is so awesome. So let me start the question with, how did you guys learn to farm in this movie?
To farm. We've learned to farm the real way. We spent hours with a scythe, beating some grain. We had shin guards to make sure snakes didn't bite us. It was.
Yeah, I saw a snake actually.
You did?
I saw a
I'm
rattler
jealous.
in a
You
hole.
did?
Yeah. And I had to call Snake Bitch over.
You know, that was her name. He's not being an arsehole, being Snake Bitch. She literally changed her name to Snake Bitch.
Yeah.
On her passport.
Yes.
So yes, so it was a real experience.
Yeah,
You know,
we were in it.
we were in it, and you know, filming days can take 9 to 10 hours, 12-hour shoot days. So even after learning how to farm, you then farm for 6 to 8 to 10 hours a day. You learn to beat that grain.
Yes.
And I saw Mr. Djimon Hounsou is so expert on that.
Yes.
Well, I guess
He acted like an expert. He did. The way he held the
Well,
pizza.
yes,
God,
we're very
I love
natural about it. How about that? Yeah,
Yes.
very natural about it.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Because there is nothing to return to. Dark days lie ahead of us all.
Could you share your experience working in this project, given the first part and the second part were really so closely together?
Yeah, I mean, that was my hope when, look, because I wrote it as a single idea, it's a one story. You could easily edit the two movies together, and have a 4-hour movie or whatever it is. So I was very excited. I'm very excited for people because they really just sort of seen the first part of the giant movie that is the whole of Rebel Moon. So I'm very excited for people to kind of get to experience the complete story. So that's going to be really, I think, fun for audiences to get a chance to kind of really have all the blanks kind of filled in.
Yeah. So because they were, they're released close together, but because we also shot them back to back. So the shoot for us was basically over an 8-month period. So we had a really great ensemble cast. We became a little bit of a family.
Yeah,
I would say.
a lot of a family, and then doing the press back to back. I've never experienced that personally, but it's fun to get back together and talk about the film again. And excited to bring the continuation so close from the first one.
Yeah, it's quite. Certain aspect of it is quite rewarding. The first one, of course, presented a level of a challenge, but the second one certainly. The challenge became almost like a gift, the experience overall with just, with these guys. I felt like for the first time, a nice family that could, embrace you in such a,
We were very lucky. I think what Djimon is saying, as well, and to second what he's saying, it's tough when you're doing a big block shoot, but there's something about going through it in totality that's very rewarding, and I absolutely agree with Djimon. We were very lucky with the cast,
And
very different
the
people.
cast,
we all got along.
all of us were really doing our stunt. 80 to 90% of our
Ourselves.
stunts,
Yeah.
really, and so. On the second film, I think it was presented so much more challenge, the action.
Yeah, the action got crazy.
You get there next, that morning, and within the hour, everything was changed.
We had a day exactly where Zach was like, look, it makes sense that we film this stunt sequence. We haven't learnt this, and before we'd learnt stuff for 2-3 weeks of training, and we just learnt the stunts in an hour. It was about a 8 to 12 person stunt. And we filmed it, and I think, again, this is the level of trust you can get when you do film back-to-back with movies. We were already experienced with how Zach shot and experienced with how we were doing the stunts enough to be able to say, okay, let's do this on the day. And I think that's the positive. As hard as it is shooting for 8 months non-stop, I think it serves the story as well, and because we don't have to go away for a year and then come back together and refine it. We get to really do it linearly, part 1, part 2, and carry on that kind of almost chronological timeline.
Yeah, the community was being built in real time, and you can see it in the film.
I should destroy them.
Were there any special considerations or treatment in the making of the second part?
The truth is, we shot them both together, and because it's a single story, we just and because it's such a big action, there's a big action element to the second part. We really. We were already way down the road, almost finished with it when the first movie came out. So it's been really just us finishing up the visual effects to get it out.
This movie features a big war in the village, right? And how did you both tap into the spirits of war, bringing the authenticity to your performance?
Well, we shot a lot of it, like you said, in the village. And for example, first thing that comes to mind when I think of the stunts and all that stuff is the two of us jumping in that river.
In the water, yeah.
There's a moment in which there's a big explosion and we fall into a little river that we had built there. To get into the mindset of that scene, we didn't have to do anything. There was an actual explosion happening behind us. Yeah. We are jumping on a trampoline and jumping in the water. It's so action driven that at that point, also by then we had probably been working for 5 or 6 months. By that point, you're in it, and so the only thing you need to do is put on your costume and then wait until somebody shouts action and you're just gonna go.
Everything was so practical. It was a practical war. The smell, the sound, things were really exploding behind us. We had a helicopter coming really low to create a hurricane, dust coming in our face. We had to do
still trying
nothing.
to get rid of that dust.
Yeah.
Air and everything.
And other places. Same. But yeah.
I had no idea what it would be like to fight. How much it would scare me.
You were afraid to die. That's okay. Everyone is.
Okay, one character that I think very stand out is Jimmy, the wise robot who plays the larger role in this part. So what inspired the development of the character the most?
Jimmy for me is really sort of the most human character in some ways in the movie, in that he was a soldier that was had this whole belief system, and that belief system kind of fell apart, and then he's forced to sort of reinvent himself or refine his purpose, and so that's the journey he's on. I think when you see the director's cuts of these movies, in movie 1, that story is really developed much greater than in the PG-13 version. In the R-rated version, we really see him in nature and out there and doing this whole thing, and he's sort of talking to himself in this sort of very poetic way. So yeah, that's kind of cool. And then in movie 2, you get to see a little bit more of him. Of course, that's in the PG-13, where you really understand that he's kind of choosing the side of the village, you know.
Do you believe that one day our world will have robot like Jimmy?
Sure. I don't see why not. It feels like emotionally, it feels like that's closer than maybe technologically for his movements and stuff. But definitely, I feel like we're on our way to some sort of super emotional robots.
Hello, James.
You know, the last person who called me that was the old commander of the Mechanicus Militarium, as he died in my arms.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. I like the way it sounds. It makes me feel something other than hopelessness.
Okay, in this movie, your characters show love for each other. Cora, what took you so long to realize Gunnar's feelings? And Gunnar, if Cora continues to show hesitation, how long can you persist in pursuing her?
That's a good question.
I think Gunnar can persist a very long time. I think he has patience. But I think that's exciting about part 2. I think that all of these characters are starting to feel that they're running out of time. And if they don't act on their feelings now, they might lose their opportunity.
I think if we were not pressed by time, I think maybe by 70 he would maybe make a move.
Couple more decades. I would, yeah, absolutely.
Gunnar has a lot of patience. I mean, he takes care of the field, so he's very. And Cora is always like, "What are you waiting for?" I'm sorry. I won't allow this place to die for me.
So, final question. I want to talk about this fan theory that there is speculation about the technology that brought Atticus Noble back to life.
Okay, yes.
Fans think that this technology is based on the power of Princess Isa, who has the power to revive. Or maybe worse, the machine absorbed the power of Princess Isa. Okay.
Yeah. Let me say this. So what I believe is that I don't know if you see it in movie 1. I don't think you. So we have at the heart of every dreadnought is this thing is like a captured goddess we call Uru Kali, which is inside of the spaceships, all of those spaceships. And it's like a big giant woman who's encased in metal. And she is based on the same magic, space magic as Princess Isa. So in theory, it is true that the Isa energy, the healing energy, is the same energy that they take from the Rukali to revive Noble.
Wow, that's wow. Okay, thank you, Zack. Have a nice day. Thank you. That's awesome. And from the fans in Indonesia, we love you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
All right. Thank you guys for your time. I hope great success for Rebel Moon Part 2 and have a nice day.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Great success for Rebel Moon and have a nice day, guys.
Well, seperti yang udah gue bilang di awal, film Rebel Moon ini bener-bener ngasih action scene dan great war yang epic. Jujur li, gue udah nonton filmnya dan gue bisa bilang kalau ini lebih keren dan lebih gokil. Film Rebel Moon Part 2 The Scargiver sendiri udah bisa kalian streaming di Netflix mulai tanggal 19 April 2024. Dan kalau kalian udah nonton atau kalian mau kasih pendapat kalian tentang franchise Rebel Moon ini, ayo kita diskusi di kolom komentar di bawah. And thank you udah nonton video ini, thank you juga yang udah join membership, mudah-mudahan rezekinya ditambah ya. Dan thank you juga buat Netflix untuk kesempatan interview cast Rebel Moon. Jangan lupa untuk follow kita di TikTok dan di Instagram karena kita juga bikin konten di sana. Dan jangan lupa lakukan satu kebaikan hari ini. See you on the next video. Gue Rian, until next time, keep exploring the multiverse.